The past few years with my third gen Toyota Tacoma have been awesome as a daily and on epic overland journeys. Today I'll update you on all the modifications we've done on the Tacoma to date, the ones I would definitely do again, the ones I would not do again, there's a couple of those, and also I'll update you on 3 additional modifications I never talked about in any of my YouTube videos, but that you have been asking me a lot of questions about. Yes, we're gonna cover the seat covers. Whew, jokes. All right, let's get started. Let's start things off with all of the trail armor I've installed. From CBI Off-Road Fabrication, we have their classic aluminum front bumper, rock sliders with kickout, and gas tank skid plate. There used to be a front CBI skid plate as well, but I've swapped it out for the TRD Toyota official aluminum skid plate. In short, all of these parts have performed fantastically. I would buy them all again, and in the long run, they have saved me more money than they have cost. First, we'll start with the front skid plate. It's definitely saved me from a lot of small hits, and particularly from one big hit that happened with the CBI skid plate. When that happened, it kind of did show that there are some, I would say, some engineering issues with that old CBI skid plate, because when you install it, they make you remove 2 steel crossbars that are originally there from the factory. With the TRD skid plate, it retains those, and then it has the same, I would say probably the same amount of strength for the skid plate itself, because they're both 1/4-inch aluminum. So that is why I swapped out that old skid plate and moved on to this one. I also think that this one, in its design, gives you slightly more ground clearance and approach angle than the CBI one. So I'm happy with that one. Now for the CBI rock sliders on each side, those have been fantastic. They work great as a step, but they also work very well to save your vehicle from logs and also from large, like branches or sticks or small trees that have fallen on the trail. I have footage of actually it saving the driver's side of my truck from a log that got kicked up. Editor Jason here. I forgot to mention my heavy-duty cat shield from Miller Cat. It protects your truck from catalytic converter theft, but also it doubles as a transmission skid plate. I highly recommend this for all off-roaders unless you do actual rock crawling. In that case, I'd recommend a steel transmission skid. I have a discount code for Miller Cat in the description. A modification I would not do again, the Toyota TRD Performance Air Intake. Now, is there anything wrong with this intake? Absolutely not. It's a factory part, it's made very well, and honestly, I think it looks cool. There is no discernible performance or fuel economy benefit that I can measure or tell. The best thing about it, it does have a slightly more aggressive air intake sound that you can hear when you floor it, you can hear it, and it does sound cool, and I do like that. But that's not enough, right? Now, the other thing that I can show you about this is this air intake comes with a cotton oiled air filter, not this one. This is the standard type. But with my off-roading that I like to do, it's primarily in very dusty areas. And that cotton performance air filter, to be able to clean that one correctly, you're supposed to, use a special cleaner, then you dry it, then you oil it again, and then you have to do that fairly often as maintenance to not have, actually have less airflow than you usually do. With the standard cotton air filter, by the way, I only use either OEM or OEM equivalent cotton air filters. You can just break out your air compressor, blow it off, and then put it back in and continue on your journey. So that's why I run one of these, which again, really makes this have no discernible purpose other than cosmetics. So if you want to buy this, by all means go ahead, but in my opinion, it's not worth the money. And if you like honest YouTube videos where a guy can admit a past mistake on camera, then hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to Jason Explains Things. Help me reach 100,000 subscribers in 2024. Let's move on. Let's briefly cover all of the lighting upgrades we've done on the truck so far. We've got Diodynamics SS3 Pro fog lights, Diodynamics Pro flush-mounted pod light as a chase light, Diodynamics interior LEDs, and in the center there we have a 20-inch Cali Rays light bar. For all of the Diodynamics stuff, 2 thumbs up, super awesome. The only issue I've had is one of the fog light brackets that you actually have to cut and modify slightly, and in my opinion, weaken a little bit when you install this CBI front bumper. It broke. That honestly is not an issue that you would have if you installed these lights in a stock bumper. If you do end up installing the lights like I have done in a CBI bumper, there is a very easy fix. There is a universal light bracket for these SS3 pod lights that Diodynamics sells. I think it's like $45, and that is metal, and just with some extra washers and a few things, I was able to fix that light that was broke, the light mount that was broken very, very quickly. But for now, that's the only issue I've had with any of the Diodynamics stuff. I'm very happy with it. Now, with the Cali raised light bar in the center, as you can see, it works great. It's extremely bright, and it blinds people in the dark.
He doesn't have them when he needs them. These don't. Ow! Okay. We don't need any of that.
It's very bright. I've used it on trips. It works very well, and it's also a nice, affordable price. And I even have a discount code in the description if you wanted to buy one for anything from Cali raised LED. But it has started to fog. You know, it does get wet. I do pressure wash it. It does get driven in the rain, of course, in the snow. And when I wash it, I can see that there is condensation inside of the light. So it is not weather sealed to a standard that I would deem great. And I will probably upgrade it in the not too distant future, hopefully later this year. Let me turn these lights off so I don't drain my battery. Moving on to all of the other truck exterior modifications and accessories, we can start in the front with the Trail Edition front grille with the bronze letters, gotta like that, and the Anytime backup camera. After that, we have mud guards from Tough Skins, the Prinsu rack, a Miso Customs gas cap holder, the MagnaFlow overland exhaust, and the hood deflector from AVS, which I have been asked about literally hundreds of times. Now, this is both an interior and exterior modification. We have the Midland GMRS radio setup, we have the 6 dB gain, ghost antenna, and then the MXT 275 on the inside. All the exterior modifications I am extremely happy with, except for one. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. Obviously, I love the Trail Edition grille, very happy with that. The mud guards, great. The MagnaFlow overland exhaust, have a video all about that. It's also great, both with sound and also with additional ground clearance, which helps you off-road. I love the Prinsu rack. It's of course classic. There is now the Prinsu Pro rack, which just came out, I think around Christmas of last year. So maybe someday I might upgrade it, but for now, I'm very, very happy with that thing. It's great. The only negative thing about a Prinsu rack is it kind of makes cleaning the roof of your truck a little bit difficult, right? With the crossbars and all the things you add on to it. But that's on you. You understand that's what happens with roof racks. So very, very happy with that. Now, the only issue that I have with anything that I just mentioned is the Anytime backup camera. Now, if you want to add a front camera to your truck, there aren't a lot of options. And frankly, if there are other options, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to know if there are other companies offering a similar thing to the front camera kit that we have here. This one works great, probably I'd say 75% of the time. But if it gets very cold or very hot, it can completely not work. And when it doesn't work, it also sometimes doesn't allow you to use your factory backup camera, right? Which it kind of incorporates with the switch where you can see both whenever you want. It kind of makes both unusable, which kind of stinks. This happens both on my Tacoma and also on my 4Runner because I've installed the same backup camera and electronics into both vehicles. Is there anything around it? Would I still buy it? I would probably still actually do it because it is so nice, both off-road and also in like tight parking situations. It's actually really nice to have a front camera and also to turn on your backup camera whenever you want. So I'd probably still get it, even though it doesn't work that great. But if there are other options, and what I hope there are, please leave them in the comments and I would love to learn more about them. The soft topper slipped my mind when I was making my notes because it was one of my last Tacoma videos. So I have a full video on a review of this thing. In short, it's great. I like it. It has a lot of compromises, but it does perform the need of having a truck topper for gear and things like that. It isn't 100% waterproof, but it's pretty waterproof. Again, watch the full video about it linked in the description. Anyway, moving on to I'm just kidding. We are gonna talk about the bug deflector. So let me get you the official full name. This is the AVS Aeroskin 2 hood protector. The cool thing about it is it's ABS plastic, it's textured, so it kind of looks very similar to the fender guards on the Tacoma. It all kind of blends together like it came from the factory this way. In short, I'm very happy with this. It's great. I'll have a link to Amazon, I believe, to purchase one of these for yourself that you can use in the description. Also, if you use those links, it does help me out a little bit at no cost to you, so I appreciate that. Now, this is actually attached to the hood with double-sided tape, mounting tape. Overall, it works great, but there have been a few times where, actually, I think it's kind of doing it right now a little bit. First, I would use double-sided tape like what comes with it from the company, but that would give way again. So actually what I've used recently is a heavy-duty hot glue gun that has worked really well, and it keeps it also from getting more dirt inside of here. But I'm not sure. I don't think it does damage your paint, but it is like a hot glue, so it might damage your paint. So be warned, I don't necessarily endorse doing that, but that is what I have done to keep this nicely secured to my hood. I would buy it again. Probably the safest bet is that plastic type from ABS that kind of sticks up a little bit more. That'd probably protect your hood and your windshield a little bit better, but frankly, this one looks better, so that's why I have it. Now, doing your own maintenance is not the subject of this video, but I do have tons of DIY maintenance videos on the Tacoma, also on a 4Runner, if you want to check those out. A quick shout out to my channel sponsor, Techron Complete Fuel System Cleaner. I use it seasonally on my Tacoma to keep it running well and having good fuel economy. So thank you, Techron, for your support. Let's briefly cover the suspension and tires. So first with tires, at 23,000 miles, these BF Goodrich KO2s have performed excellent. I'm very happy with them. I'll get a close-up so you can see how much wear we have at 23,000 miles. I would call these about halfway through their life. So my particular size is 265/70 R17, so 1 inch larger than what came stock on my truck. Would I get it again? Probably. Will I keep them all the way to 50,000 miles like, is essentially the traditional life for these tires? Probably not. I will probably go with 33s before that point, probably 285s like most people do. On this truck though, if I'm gonna do that, I'm also gonna, go full bore into it. I will probably do the body mount chop if it's necessary, or I might look into new upper control arms from Camberg or somebody like that, which might negate having to do the body mount chop. Also, once you put 33s on a Tacoma, you make it very, very slow and even more inefficient than it already is. So I'd probably do a re-gear before doing that. I will probably go with 33s, but it's a lot of money and a lot of time and investment, so it might take a while. I have no idea, honestly, when I'll do that. Probably before 50,000 miles though. For the suspension, I still owe you guys a full suspension video, both install and review. I filmed it a long time ago at this point, and I still haven't put it out yet, and I'm sorry about that. Briefly though, we have Bilstein 6112s in the front with 700-pound iBox springs for the front, and in the rear we have Bilstein 5100s with Old Man Emu medium duty leaf springs and Sumo spring bump stops in the front and the rear. That setup is incredibly awesome. I'm very happy with it. It's not as premium and rad as probably, Icons or like the higher end Fox shocks, things like that, but it's excellent, and it's so much better than stock, especially after you start adding weight. It's kind of essentially back to stock, maybe stock plus. So I'm very happy with it. I owe you a video about it. Subscribe for that one. It is coming. Gosh darn it, it's coming in 2024, I promise. Whew, now I made a promise. The interior of my Tacoma has some pretty awesome upgrades done over the years as well. Also, I'm lighting myself with the Diodynamics LED bulb upgrades, so hopefully you can see me pretty well. We got the shift knob from Tinker's Design, the pedal commander, the Cali raised LED dash mount, and the Carhartt seat covers that I've been asked about so many times. I'm also talking about that one, finally. So first, let's start with the shift knob from Tinker's Design. This is awesome. I did do a video about this for both the Tacoma and the 4Runner. Now, Tinker's Design is owned by a guy named Kai, who runs Tinker's Adventure, which is one of my personal favorite YouTube channels. He does tons of awesome videos. Go subscribe to him right now. He designs and sells these on his website. I highly recommend them. I love it. It's very classy and customizable. So I'll link to the video about this and also to his website so you can pick up one for yourself. For the Cali raised LED dash mount, as you can see here, I have it set up to have my phone, and then also I can put a GoPro right here. I'm very happy with this overall. Again, it's incredibly good price. One funny thing about it is these ball mounts used to actually be kind of like a dark silver color, but over the years they've turned bronze, which is hilarious because it actually matches my truck better. So it was meant to be. One thing about this is it's probably not the most secure dash mount you could buy. There are ones that are a little more invasive in their install where you might have to drill some more holes. This one, because it's attached to this bezel piece, it can vibrate a little bit. It doesn't vibrate very much, honestly. Only when you're doing like washboard roads and off-roading does this ever rattle. Not much to say about the pedal commander. I have a video about it. I also have a video about it on the 4Runner as well. Very happy with it. It has never thrown me a check engine light or any kind of issues with my truck at all. And I've had it for probably most of the 23,000 miles on my truck. There is a lot of fear mongering on the internet about pedal commanders and other things like that. But for me, I'm very happy with it. You know, everything you do to your own vehicle is at your own risk. So, you know, maybe there are issues out there, but I have never experienced any of them, and I will run it until I eventually get a tune, if and when I do 33-inch tires. Down here next to my leg, I have my MXT275 Midland GMRS radio. This is also the upgraded handset that has noise canceling. So this thing is pretty freaking cool. Great radio, excellent range, very happy with it. And honestly, I think the upgraded handset is worth the money. I think it was like $80 or something like that. I'm not gonna make you wait any longer. Let's talk about the Carhartt seat covers. So again, they are branded Carhartt. I do love Carhartt stuff. I even have a Carhartt wallet that does indeed blend into the seat when I just set it there, which is kind of funny. My kids like to make fun of me about that. Very happy with these. They have been used now for well over 2 years. They have started to show a little bit of age. Overall, very happy with them. And when I take these off, the seats underneath look brand new, so I'm very happy with them. I would imagine these are gonna last me at least another 2 years before I swap them out. And when that happens, I'll probably just get the exact same seat covers again. So I'll have a link to these on Amazon, which is where I purchased them from. Covercraft has their own website where you can buy them from as well, but it usually seems like that is more expensive than buying it on Amazon, probably because Amazon makes them lower the price or whatever. I'm not gonna get into that, but I can highly recommend these seat covers. If you like how they look, and I do like how they look, they're great. Another interior modification that completely slipped my mind until the last second is the Red Arc trailer brake controller. The thing about Tacomas is they actually have all of the wiring already run to have a trailer brake controller. Toyota just doesn't throw it in. So this is a very easy installation if you do need a trailer brake controller. We've got one final really cool modification that I did not cover on video until now, so let's show it to you. This is the Mountain Hatch tailgate table insert. Cool thing about this is it's incredibly, really hardy stuff. It holds up to abuse. You have a little cutout right here for, I think essentially they plan you to put your phone right there, and then over here we have 2 cup holders. The reason why I personally got this is because it's an awesome work surface now. Usually you have that, you know, that plastic insert right here, right, that has ridges on it. That kind of stinks. That stinks for food prep. But what I like to use my tailgate for, honestly, is video production. I like to, you know, if I like switch lenses or something like that, I'll often do it on the tailgate, and this just makes it a really nice work surface. This is also a modification installation that, frankly, anybody can do. It's really cool. Another, you know, a unique US company. I saw this at the Pacific Northwest Overland Rally in 2023, and ever since I've wanted one, and I think about 7 months ago I put this in. So I'd love to know your opinion. What do you think is the best modification I've shown you guys today on my Tacoma? And if you want to see my Tacoma Sarge on a 600-mile long overland journey across Washington State, then click the video on the screen right now. Until next time, God bless all of you, and don't forget to do it yourself.